I just thought I would talk a little bit about specifically what we did while we lived overseas and how we witnessed to people. Now, like I said in a previous video that I did called A Life Overseas, where I tried to give a brief, although it was a 17-minute long video, but I tried to give a brief history of my life overseas, kind of just like what happened, like a timeline. I didn't really go into a lot of detail of that, but in this video I will be telling you about the first year, kind of what our focus was in our ministry. The focus of our ministry in the first year was to learn the language, to learn to speak the language very well, and get to know some of the believers in country in country B, and that's what I called it, pretty well. There was an underground house church over there, and these people were radically on fire for Christ, just radically. They would walk down the street and start talking to people about Jesus. And of course there are people like that in the West as well, but I think in other countries this tends to be more common, where the gospel is kind of like, it's not it is not well received, because people already are persecuted, so they're like, anyway, persecution, I think, changes people, makes people more serious, and I think that in some ways we need more persecution here in the West. But anyway, we would have a bunch of people who were not believers over to our home to learn English, because in this country everyone wanted to learn English, and wanted specifically, particularly like American English speakers. So we were very successful in what we called our English corner, and we would have it every Sunday afternoon, and for about 2 hours, and we would have refreshments and drinks and a little fruit. They eat a lot of fruit over there. And we would have some believers with us, some believers from this particular culture that were native to this culture, this country, to help translate. But a lot of people that were at this English corner knew pretty good English. They just mainly wanted to work on their grammar and their accent, pronunciation, things like that. Because they learn English over there from a young age. So a lot of them at least have somewhat of a background, and they like to watch, like Western English films and whatnot. But that is what we did, and it was through this process of allowing to have this English corner in our home that these believers were able to witness to these people. And it was really beautiful to see. Obviously we could witness too, but it was mainly the people from this country that were witnessing. And it was just really neat to see God working through them, and what God was doing. That was just a real blessing. I definitely think that I made a really good friend over there who is a believer, who loves Jesus, and she has her own issues, like we all do. And she was a big encouragement to me, and she would come and we would hang out all the time. Oh my goodness, I love and miss her so much. And if you ever come across this video, I love you and I miss you and I hope you're doing well. But anyway, me and my friend would go downtown and we'd go shopping, and we'd go to a place called Woman Street and get popcorn and meat on a stick. It was just a lot of fun. We would get, pineapple on a stick, sweet potato on a stick, and it was just such a great experience. I'm very thankful for that experience. But I just kind of wanted to say that, and I hope this blesses you. Leave your comments and questions below. I am interested to know what you think. So, hope this blesses you in Jesus' name.